So if you just bought a 2018 2.7-liter EcoBoost or 5-liter powered F150, then JLT's version 3.0 black oil separator should absolutely be the first mod you install on your truck, and for good reason. Now, you may not be aware of this, but your truck and pretty much all modern cars and trucks in general have what's called a PCV system. Now, PCV stands for positive crankcase ventilation. And while that might sound like a kind of boring and technical term, it's actually just a really bad thing for your engine that you may not be aware of. What happens during the combustion process is some of that air and fuel mixture leaks past the piston rings and it goes down into the crankcase where your oil is. That basically creates engine sludge, and it cannot stay in there. It has to go somewhere, otherwise you would end up blowing your motor from all that pressure. But where do we send it? Well, thanks to regulations as far as emissions are concerned, they actually require that it goes back into the engine itself. A pretty bad thing, right? So what a catch can does is it interferes with that process, it captures all that engine sludge, it allows the pressure to come out of the crankcase, and all you're getting is relatively fresh and relatively clean air going back into the intake manifold, back into the motor. If you do not have a catch can, over time as your engine wears in, that blow-by will increase, and over time that engine sludge will build up inside your engine. You can see why that's just not good for engine life. So again, that's why I recommend this as your first mod for your 2018 truck before that engine sludge has a chance to do any real damage or kill any performance. I'm also happy to say that this is a very simple install. I said it's a good first mod, and that's another reason why I recommend it. You can get this installed in about 15 to 30 minutes. You don't need anything more than a couple of hand tools, mostly a Phillips head screwdriver and a ratchet, but I'll show you guys the install in just a second. Now, there are a couple different catch can options. I like JLT's option in particular because it's very well built. Got really nice aluminum catch can here. The tubing itself looks pretty OEM, and you got a black anodized finish on there, so you don't got to worry about this thing rusting out on you anytime soon, and I like it because it's pretty understated. It looks relatively OEM. It's not flashy. It's not going to jump out at you. So again, back to that install. Very straightforward. Give this a 1 out of 3 wrenches on my difficulty meter. So if you want to save your truck from engine sludge, go ahead and stick around. I'll show you guys those tools, and I'll show you guys how to get this installed as well. All right, to install your catch can, you'll need a drive ratchet with a 10mm socket and a Phillips head screwdriver. If you're installing this on a 5-liter truck, you'll also need a cutting tool and a measuring tape, and it's always helpful to have an extension for that socket. All right, guys, so we're working with our 5-liter truck instead of an EcoBoost truck, and we have to make some cuts to the provided tubing. On the 90-degree bend tubing, you want to take 10 inches off, and off of the 45-degree bend tubing, you want to take 8 inches off. All right, once you got those cuts made to the provided tubing, you can throw those little end caps on there, clean those up nicely. Then you want to grab the support bracket. I'll show you guys where that's supposed to install. You're gonna need the provided speed clip and the little bolt in the kit. You'll need a 10mm socket for this one. All right, so the bracket's gonna secure here on the battery box. You're gonna remove the Christmas tree fitting that holds this wiring harness here. All right, once you pull the wiring harness out of the way to show that hole there, you're gonna grab your speed clip, throw that on there. Make sure the holes on the speed clip line up with the holes on the battery box. You can throw your bracket in place and secure it using that 10mm bolt. All right, we're ready to install our catch can, but before we do that, we're going to pull off the factory hose here. It's just a little quick disconnect fitting, so just grab the tab with your finger. It should wiggle itself out pretty easily. All right, go ahead and grab the catch can. You want to orient the logos so they match each other on the support bracket, and grab those Phillips head screws provided in the kit. Thread those in place with a Phillips head screwdriver. All right, with our catch can in place, we're going to install our tubing here. The crankcase side goes on the elbow facing down on the catch can itself, like so. You just got to press it in place with your hands. All right, next you want to grab the 45-degree fitting, put that on the manifold itself, and same deal, put the other end on the catch can. So once you got those tubes installed, that'll wrap up the install. Pretty straightforward, right? As far as maintenance goes, I would check that catch can, go ahead and unthread it with every oil change, and you can clean it out and throw it back in place, and that's really all you gotta do. That also wraps up my review of the JLT version 3.0 black oil separator fitting your 2018 2.7-liter EcoBoost and 5-liter powered F150. I'm Travis, thanks for watching, and for all things F150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.